Alright, so we actually maxed out Luna's range completely. We couldn't level it up anymore. After this showcase, definitely go a deep dive into the build because this gets pretty crazy and amazing. Like, I seriously can't believe we maxed out the range on her. That's mad! This range is actually insane, dude. Look at all those guys we just reached, no problem, as we're just spamming our ability. They don't stand a chance at level 100. Try in this formation. When you get it to activate, look at that. Wow, dude, that's actually crazy cool. So this stuff pretty much stayed exactly the same. So everything here pretty much stayed the same. We have the same reactor from before. This with the final masterpiece mounting has non-attribute skill power boost ratio and singular skill power boost ratio. With the final masterpiece here, make sure you want to mount it. That way you get that extra 60% skill power bonus. If I were to recommend the attributes you want to get at the bottom, you want the singular skill power boost ratio and the increase in range effect. I did manage to get it for this Toxin one at level 54. It has the skill effect range, so it is possible, and definitely get it in gold. That'll give you a little bit further reach, but it's not exactly necessary as this build is kind of crazy for distance anyway. Our external components are the Slayer auxiliary power with defense on it. It has MP recovery outside of combat and increases your overall HP, and then your sensor here has max MP. If you can get it to drop with also the HP recovery modifier, that'd be better. We mainly want to use the Slayer set just for that extra skill power of 26.1%, just to go ahead and hit those high numbers. For the other ones here, they default and give you shield and HP. If you can get them with increased defense, that'd be nice because the MP doesn't drop for your memory or processor. Now for the build itself, it's pretty wild, okay? We pretty much have every slot taken here. If you want to check out what modules I have, there we go. We have 2 Malachites, a Celeron, 2 more Malachites, 2 Rutiles, 1 Xantic, another, I believe these are Almudines, if I'm pronouncing that right, but 4 Almudines. After looking at it, I'm currently working on a support build. There's like nothing here, but I will be working on that next, so look forward to that. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. But I was wondering about the Xantic mods, so you can get the skill power maximized and the skill power modifier maximized on here, but you would have to go 2 Xantics, and it would just take away from the overall build, I feel. So unless something changes or I notice any slight differences, we might change that over. But the only thing I can see we can maybe get rid of is increased HP if we happen to get some really good external components that give us a nice health bonus, so we don't have to worry about survivability and using that mod at all. But for the range mobbing, we're of course using Noise Surge. This gives you this changes all of Luna's abilities here from being supporting others to supporting herself. I'll show you an example here. So without Noise Surge, we're going to change all that back, and then this is going to give things to other people. So skill power increase, modifier, it all helps others. Like the exciting performance increases the skill power modifier increase. It grants that to yourself. The relaxing performance grants it to yourself, which is MP recovery and duration. This one gives you cheerful performance to self, and cheerful performance is your inspiration gauge increase and how long it lasts. But we're mainly just focusing on ourself and doing maximum damage by ourselves for just mobbing or solo gameplay, or if you just don't feel like playing bunny, that's fine. Increased HP for survivability, non-attribute specialist for an increase in damage, multi-talented, using the tech active skill for skill range and power modifier plus 15% for 5 seconds, as well as the singular active skill, which is all attribute damage plus 30% for 5 seconds. So when you activate your first ability, because that's what you kind of need to do to activate the rest of them, only the tech skill right here gets the bonus from multi-talented. I don't see anything about a cooldown, like you have to wait 5, 10, 15, 20, whatever seconds in order for the singular active to take the bonus. But once you activate the tech and then the 5 seconds are over, if it resets itself automatically, then using the singular skills definitely gets that bonus there. But if you really didn't want to use something like this, you could change it out for Nimble Fingers or even Frugal Mindset just for the skill cost reduction and the skill effect range, which will give you more room on this build for an even more effective range. Look at that, we bumped it up to 208.9%. Like, it's crazy what you can do with Luna, man. Let's spawn in some enemies here, and I'll show you guys an example of this maximum range build. It's absolutely mad, dude. It's crazy. Look at that range. That's insane. There's so much. Like just running around doing this all day, easy. Of course, the maximize range mod for an increase in 94.4%, although this does reduce your skill power modifier by 20%, but it's not that big of a deal. You'll be melting mobs, trust me. Skill expansion for a 92% increase in range. Shock punch with a catalyst on it so we can get that extra 5 capacity. Emergency measures for critical hit rate and crit damage. Skill concentration for more crit damage. Front lines for crit damage and critical hit rate. Maximize power for the skill power modifier plus 96.1%. But because of the maximize range mod, we might as well just assume this is 76%. And then skill insight to increase your critical hit rate. That way we can do bigger numbers more often. This all goes into a play with this build of 46.1% critical hit rate and then around 3.7 critical hit damage. And I just noticed that, so I added the frugal mindset and the skill effect range is 1.867. And then when we go ahead and add frugal mindset to it and look back at it, it looks like we're at the 2 times where we're at the max range that we can even give this character. That's absolutely mad. We have the maximum range. That's so cool. But if you think that little bit of a 0.1 increase isn't really doing you too well, then you can use something like enlightenment for more MP, or strong mentality to reduce the cost, or even nimble fingers for skill cooldown if you find yourself having a hard time using her active abilities. Like you activate it, and then you try and hit the notes properly and you just mess up, and then you gotta wait that whole cooldown on Z, as you can tell, for it to wait up. Then you can use nimble fingers to help you with that cooldown a little bit, just so you can keep everything up and going. But everything does pretty good even on its own, so even if you mess up like this, then you can just quickly switch to the one that is available. It'll still do damage for you while increasing some stats. But with Luna, I've really noticed that even using this ability and her third ability don't really matter too much in terms of damage. I'll show you an example here. So we can focus on something like the critical hit damage numbers. So critical hit damage increased by 1% and it stacks to 26. So an increase of 26%. So I'm just working on the Z letter right now, her 4th skill. I'm going to get to the max stacks just so y'all can see what kind of crit numbers that we're getting for it. Alright, we're at the max stacks and it looks like we're hitting about 212. Scratch that, it looks like it just went up to about 215. I guess it just depends on the kind of crit that hits. We're at 212 consistently though, and then it goes up to 215 once the enhanced skill takes effect. Alright, so we're at the max stacks for our critical hit damage numbers, and we're going to change over to the Z skill after we hit one more note just to give that max time to refresh it. Alright, let's check it out. We're doing about 215 with the enhanced skill at max stats, and we're doing 221, and our time is about up, but we're seeing about 223. So you go from 215 to 223, about a 8,000 damage difference. And for the time it takes and the MP you have to use to activate that crit hit damage, I really don't think it's absolutely necessary that you focus on her 3rd ability first and then go into her 4th. Just strictly maining the 4th will clear these mobs no problem at all. If you wanted to add a few stacks, I mean, go for it. Your game, your rules, am I right? But me personally, I stick to just the 4th ability and it gets the job done for me like that, no problems at all. But I went ahead and switched it back to multi-talented from frugal mindset, so we don't have the max range anymore, but losing that like a 0.12 or whatever it is to get the maximum range of 2 times. And you can see with multi-talented, we're hitting numbers about 241,000 on our crits, even without activating our 3rd ability. So that's why I personally choose to run the multi-talented over something that increases range a little bit further. But at the end of the day, it's really all up to you, man, whatever you'd like to do. I just wanted to showcase to you guys a really effective range build for mobbing and just having fun with her. So I hope you guys enjoy the build, have some fun mobbing out there. If you're looking forward to the support build, subscribe to the channel. We are going to be working on that now just to see exactly what we can do with her. But I don't know how long it'll take me because I pretty much play solo. Let me know in the comments if there's anything you would change about this build. Definitely let me know if you replace multi-talented with something, or you'd give up on a little bit of range just to increase something else. Let me know how you deal with your mobs, and I'll definitely try it out for myself. But as far as I can see, this is the best that you could possibly do to increase her range while staying good with damage and survivability. With that being said, I appreciate you guys for watching this video to the end. It means the world to me, really. And I know some of you already dropped a like before even watching the video. Like, y'all are crazy. I appreciate that so much. And remember to stay safe, okay? Because the world without you is nothing.